Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our 2019 iteration and kickoff here of SEMrush 101. Today, we'll take a high-level view of SEMrush, show you all the ins and outs and the capabilities of the software. Our product is a bit robust. We'll go through a lot of different topics. I'll move pretty fast. For this reason, I do, of course, save a link to this session, as well as open up the live chat as part of the webinar. Please provide feedback on the fly. If you have any questions, if you're confused by something I'm showing, definitely provide that to the YouTube chat and we'll get it worked out as part of the webinar. So we're excited to kick off today. As our attendees trickle in, I'll just one more time note that you should be able to, at this point, see my screen and hear my voice. If you're having trouble with either of those, please let me know. And the one nuance with the YouTube chat here is that you will have to be logged into your YouTube account to use the chat. So if you'd like to participate in the webinar, I do root for a very interactive session. Please log into your YouTube account if you have one and utilize the chat that way. Okay, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with our webinar. What you see first on my screen is the SEMrush kind of homepage, SEMrush dashboard, in which I put in a couple of the domains in which we'll be talking about today. You might find you use this dashboard for your own SEO efforts to track your competitors and get just a quick overview of how you might rank against them. Our subject today will be bikesdirect.com. You can see here by organic rankings, they trail their competitors a little bit, but differentiate from their competitors with AdWords and display advertising data. SEMrush will show you all of that. So we'll take a look at that first and show you what our domain overview will bring. So I went to our domain analytics domain overview for bikesdirect.com. Quick note here, and I'm going to break the webinar into a couple different toolkits today. And when you're using SEMrush, you'll have customizable dashboards you can set up for yourself so that the tools that you're going to most commonly use are directly in front of you. I have all tools in front of me today, and we're going to start with our domain analytics category. In a nutshell, our domain analytics is where you do your competitive analysis. It's where you come to understand what drives traffic to a given domain and how. Is it AdWords? Is it organics? Is it backlinks? So on and so forth. So here is the overview for Bikes Direct, in which I can see the 20,000 organic keywords they rank and a monthly estimate of their organic site traffic, which is trending up a little bit. Their paid profile, the keywords they use and the traffic they garner, the backlinks database, and display advertising. So as you can see, Bikes Direct is quite nimble. We'll start with organic research. So here in the positions report, what I'll see is all of the keywords driving traffic to the domain in which I query. So what you'll see this populate with is Bikes Direct, cheap bikes, gravity bikes, so on and so forth. All of these keywords being responsible for a good amount of Bikes Direct organic traffic. Now I'm going to switch to our new interface really quick and explain that a little bit further. So the traffic metric here, this is why I see Bikes Direct first and why I see cheap bikes at the top of the list. As you can see here, cheap bikes, I'll highlight that one with the checkbox. This shows me that bikesdirect.com garners about 900, just under 900 organic sessions to their site a month from the search of cheap bikes. Well, why? Bikes Direct ranks in the 3rd position for this keyword, as shown here. The last update was yesterday. The URL will show you exactly which page your ranking is satisfying. So it's the home page. And volume will tell you a monthly search expectation. So we expect 9,900 searches a month for cheap bikes. So based on that volume, the click-through estimates for this keyword search, we estimate that 900 sessions to their site. So you can imagine now if you push that into the 1st position, you're bumping that traffic up to around 4,000, 5,000 sessions, as the #1 organic position oftentimes will draw about half of the click-through. Okay, keyword difficulty is an 80. That's pretty high. So just to quickly note, keyword difficulty is an organic metric we use. It's 0 to 100. It helps you understand just how difficult a keyword might be to rank for. This number is derived by an analysis of the domain authority of the top ranking domains. So things like cheap bikes, there are a lot of high authority domains that sell bikes. There are additionally Walmart and Target selling bikes. So because of that difficulty and the landscape in which you will compete against, you'll notice keyword difficulty is just naturally a little higher. When you get away from high authority domains ranking for keywords, you'll see keyword difficulty is a little more exploitable. So keep that in mind as you do your analysis with SEMrush. We put the keyword difficulty and cost per click metrics right next to each other so that you can determine whether or not a keyword might be most opportunistic as part of SEO or most opportunistic as part of an AdWords or paid strategy. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat. I'm going to quickly move on to a couple different organic research tools here. The position changes report I really like, and it couples nicely with our historical data. Let's say last Black Friday or Black Friday 2017 was a hit for your business. You ran some online campaigns, you had a great partner at the time doing your marketing, and guess what? You sold a whole lot during Black Friday 2017, and you want to relive some of that marketing strategy. We do offer historical data as far back as January 2012. I do take a pause here because the historical data feature is a Guru Plan exclusion. A Guru Plan exclusion, meaning that it's, I'm sorry, not a Guru Plan exclusion, inclusion, meaning that historical data is available on our Guru Plan and above. It is not available on the base Pro Plan. However, it can be added as an add-on. Why may you use our historical data? Well, now I can go back to Black Friday 2017. Let's just select October here. And I can see in that given month for AdWords, for organic presence, which keywords did our website start ranking for? So 4,400 new URLs ranking for different keywords, which will help me make sense of the new traffic that's coming to my site. Or if I'm losing traffic, I might look at the lost or declined keyword report to understand in that select time period, what changed with my SEO landscape and which could have caused an increase or decrease in traffic. Historical data will oftentimes answer a lot of questions about marketing campaigns and marketing successes. I do see a question in the chat. I will cover traffic contributions from backlinks. Although it's hard to measure a number on traffic contributions from a referral source, we will help you to understand which referral sources are most impactful and most active in driving traffic to a domain. Okay, quickly before I do get into those backlinks, the pages report. So oftentimes people will say, John, Bikes Direct is a huge site. I need to analyze a page. You can certainly do that. The pages report will show you each of the landing pages that bikesdirect.com ranks for. Again, initially filtered by total traffic contribution. So the Cruiser Bikes drives about 2,800 organic sessions and ranks for 602 keywords. I can very easily drill into that report and go to a positions report that we've already looked at specifically for that URL I selected. So here's the presence only for that Cruiser Bikes page. Okay, let's jump into backlinks since there's a question in the queue. Again, we're still under this domain analytics, get to know your competitors, get to know yourselves forefront of SEMrush. I did actually load this database up already, and I loaded it with a competitor so we can compare authority scores as well. Here's the overview report for the backlinks page. This will show me all of the backlinks we have in our database for Bikes Direct. It will show me all of the highlighted clickable text, otherwise known as the anchors that they're using. So if it says click here to click a link, that is your anchor. That will show you all the different anchors this domain references their traffic from. And referring domains. Which domains by volume are sending Bikes Direct the most links? So 9,104 backlinks from this individual sports categorized page, roadbikereview.com. We very much value quality over quantity these days with backlink building, and roadbikereview.com is a very relevant and even high authority source to be driving great quality authenticated traffic to bikesdirect.com. So this will show you all of your domains, what kind of top level distribution they come from if you're looking for spammy domains, and where your links come from and if they have relevance to your international presence as well. Okay, back to the overview really quick. I do really like this authority score metric. This does help me to understand what is, this is a predictive measure on Google's domain authority. So Evan Cycles at a 64, about 15% or so higher than Bikes Direct. So it won't be surprising to me if a lot of times in the case of SEO, Evan Cycles ranks second or third, Bikes Direct fifth or sixth. Because authority score as a whole measures out Evan Cycles to be a little bit strengthier, a little bit more recognizable. As you can see, they have a bit more backlinks and referring domains than that of bikesdirect.com. So if I want to steal Evan Cycles keywords, it looks like we're going to have to really focus on those backlink building efforts and really focus to achieve a little bit greater domain authority to be able to take rankings and be recognized by Google as effectively as some of our competition. So I like this authority score to benchmark and answer the question, can I steal my competitors' keywords? Now, let's move this right into the domain versus domain report. All of our users, many of our users use a domain comparison. Let me just flip the script really quick and say we are part of Evans Cycles, right? And our domain authority is a 64, while that of Bikes Direct is a 58 or a 48. But all of a sudden, Bikes Direct is outranking me for something like road bike. So what does that tell me? It tells me that Evans Cycles probably hasn't done SEO as impactfully for that URL as maybe Bikes Direct did. As a whole, Evans Cycles is a bit strengthier, but you can see they're getting beat on this very high volume road bike search. So that tells me if I'm Evans Cycles and my domain authority suggests I'm 15% better than a competitor, then I could benchmark myself at this point against that competitor. I personally, and this is my opinion, I've determined that my website, evanscycles.com, should be closer to the 9th or 10th position, maybe even on the first page of Google, if Bikes Direct here can be in the 12th position. So that's how I like to use authority score and like how to go out and get information about my competitor that could provide me real opportunity for SEO optimization. Some keywords are just too tough. When you're effectively benchmarking against your competition, you could recognize those keywords that maybe are within scope. Okay. Now, I want to show you two additional, in addition to the ad copies reports, they're available on all of our plans. Just like I showed you the keywords they rank for organically, we can show you the keywords they rank for in Google AdWords. We can show you what their AdWords copy looks like. So I was going to skip it, but let's tie it in really quick. And I'll search one more time here, bikesdirect.com. Bikes Direct is very active in paid AdWords. As you noticed on our initial dashboard, that they weren't as effective from an SEO front as some of the competitors I'm comparing them to today. So one of the ways they make up that traffic is to be very actively involved with Google Ads and even product listing ads. So what does that mean? That means there's 6,800 keywords in the software that we see Bikes Direct using for their AdWords campaigns. We can see the exact ad by hovering over it. And of course, what you're considering on this report is cost per click. The CPC metric is here. This is the national average cost per click expectation to run an ad for the keyword, in this case, bicycle shop, $1.36. Also, too, you'll find yourself using this ad copies report. Here is all of the different ads, and you can see exactly which keywords are responsible for making them show up. So now I know what Bikes Direct is using, where they're using it, what ads are being run and are showing the most traffic metric, which are the most successful is a better way to put it. And you can see all of the relevant information you need to make decisions about your own strategy within the drop-down results. Okay, quick pause because I'm going to move into two domain analytics tools and then we're going to move on. I take this pause because these two tools are base inclusions as part of our SEMrush business subscription. This is our third tier up. This plan costs $3.99 a month or discounted if you pay for an annual term. We can certainly discuss those options. However, I do want to quickly note for the purpose of this webinar being educational that the PLA research and the traffic analytics tools I'm about to show you are part of our business subscription specifically. Okay, here's Bikes Direct's presence in Google PLA. So this is the Google Shopping Network. This is where you see the carousel ads. When you query mountain bikes for sale, we'll likely see some. And here they are. So visual ads with prices, with reviews, oftentimes very much help. Free shipping. There's Bikes Direct right there. And also here. This is the shopping carousel. It's gotten pretty rich with results. As you can see, there's 20, 25 plus bikes here for sale. So there's a lot of opportunities to feature your products this way when you sell products online via Google's GSN. So there's 2,900 keywords here, 229 ads in which we saw those keywords generated. I have the full list of the keywords, their rank on the carousel. So this ranking could get pretty widespread, as you see 26th rank, so on and so forth. You can see the URL they're driving the traffic to. Now, remember, when you're using the GSN, these URLs are very specific product pages, usually one click away from checkout. So that's the, the efforts that people put forth in GSN. They'll drive you to very specific product pages related to the search with the full search product title and the competitor's price for that product. We don't have a cost per click estimate for this resource. However, we will show you what your competitors are listing their products for sale at. PLA copies report will show you all of those ads, just like I showed you the ads copies report. It will be aggregating information about the ad and all of the keywords responsible for making it show up on the carousel. Okay, the next business plan inclusion, traffic analytics. Traffic analytics, if you've ever used SimilarWeb.com, is a good example to compare our traffic analytics resources for, in which it helps you understand an outside looking in view of your competitors' traffic data. How many visits are they trending up? For example, Bikes Direct trending down this month per our traffic predictions, 21%, unique visitors down 25%. Let's throw a competitor in here. Let's throw two, why not? And we can start comparing Google Analytics types of metrics to our competitors month over month. There is historical data here as part of our business offering. So here's visits data, unique visit, pages per visit or average visit duration, bounce rates for sites, so on and so forth. Talking more about referral sources and traffic from backlinks. Here's the traffic sources report, looking at the most impactful referring domains. It's a little light here for Bikes Direct, but you get an idea really quick which referring sites are sending a large majority of the referral traffic, which search engines, and also which social networks. Geographic distribution will tell me, where does my traffic come from? 94% of it for Bikes Direct is United States driven, about 534,000 estimated sessions, really closely split between desktop and mobile. So you'll see a lot of times, we're moving toward this mobile 2019 revolution. You'll see a lot of sites start to spike in their mobile output. So do keep this in mind, optimizing with a mobile first mindset and using our traffic analytics data to understand how different sites, how different potential clients of yours, or a different entity that you might work for may vary on the desktop versus mobile front. You can split all of the data between the two with the devices drop down and see exactly where your traffic is maybe leaving your site and going to. For example, a lot of Bikes Direct traffic bounces off the site to paypal.com, which certainly makes sense. Okay, so that's the traffic analytics and PLA data. I specifically wanted to call that out as business plan inclusions. PLAs can be added to any product, whereas our traffic analytics full dashboard is available only on the business plan. Okay, so I'm moving on from domain analytics and competitive analysis. I seem to be on schedule, so we had a good session in that forefront of the software. But remember, domain analytics and all these reports is really where you do your competitive analysis and you learn about the competitive landscape. Keyword tools. So here's the keyword magic tool we're going to jump into next. Now, this is for keyword research. This is for finding new advertising opportunities or finding new pieces of content I could write about cycling. So let's do actually, I usually do like mountain bike or something. So let's change it up and do cycling today. Oh God. Okay. So I specifically and usually advise my users to query broadly with your first search in the keyword magic tool. I say that because now I've searched for cycling. I get a very broad view of all of the cycling semantics. If you search water cycling, you'll be limited to starting with 15,000 results, which is fine. If you're in the water cycling business, you could, of course, start with that subset. But if I'm just talking about cycling, I do like to start broad because I will get a little bit of unrelated results too, but I'll get really good exposure to those semantics that apply to what I'm looking to optimize around. You might not want to limit yourself to, cross-country cycling if you can optimize for other cycling keywords as well. So that's why I like to start broad. With the click of a button, I can narrow down into any subset. So let's do, let's see, I am quite broad here. Let's do Jersey cycling. Now I've narrowed down to keywords that will include cycling and Jersey specifically. I apologize, the list was a little more widespread than I thought, so I got lost in the results. But generally, I would advise you to search broadly so that you can expose yourself to the keywords that may be semantically related. Now that I've narrowed in, I'm talking only about cycling plus Jersey. And you can see women's cycling jerseys, 2,900 searches a month, pretty low keyword difficulty. and a cost per click metric too. Men's cycling jerseys searched less, even harder to rank for. So when you're thinking about how to feature maybe your products, in this case selling cycling jerseys, maybe my ads would be more so targeting women because of the higher search volume and lower keyword difficulty. So as you find keywords of interest, you'll be setting them aside in your keyword analyzer. That's right here where my mouse is. Before I click it, I also want to point out that there's a quick tutorial, and often on many of the SEMrush reports you will see a quick tutorial or a PDF guide of the user manual of that tool. Our knowledge base I will show you. It's very effective. I understand the product is quite robust, which is a good thing, but there's a lot of learning that goes into it. So if you're ever stuck on a report, do look for that tutorial icon in the top right corner. Now what I've done is I've picked out a couple cycling keywords that I really like, and I've added them to my keyword analyzer. Consider this kind of your export manager, because now they're set aside for me in a custom list of keywords of interest, keywords I could potentially optimize for. What can I do from there? I can update some of the metrics in real time. I could export the data, or I can choose to push the data into another SEMrush tool, maybe your position tracking campaign, which will track your keyword optimization efforts. So you could just select, I would in this case select my Bikes Direct project and any location in which I want to add the data to. And we'll show you the position tracking tool. So the Keyword Magic tool is our most robust keyword research tool. It has over 8 billion keywords in all of our databases combined. So as you can see with cycling here, 820,000 results, there will be no shortage of substance. Also too, you can use the questions filter. What questions do people ask or query on Google about cycling? This will show you long tail keywords that are usually great for maybe a Google AdWords campaign, maybe even a blog post in which the content is very clear, the user intent with a question is very high. What is water cycling? What is the carbon cycle? Like I said, I know that these results are a little broader. I would again narrow them down, but as you can see, here are the high volume questions people are searching related to cycling. All right, let's go to projects. Now, another big, this is kind of phase 3 of SEMrush. There's keyword research, there's domain analytics, and then there are a set of projects tools. Within a project, let me find one. Bikes Direct is not in here. 1 second, folks. Okay, so here's a project dashboard. Sorry about that. I wanted to pull my Bikes Direct project. It lives on another account. Here is the dashboard for a project in which we'll go into some of the details of some of these tools. But what I want to show you is the overview. When you use a project, you'll set that up on your subject domain. For example, bikesdirect.com. Once you do that, you will have a series of SEMrush tools to set up. I advise new SEMrush inquiries, whether you're on a trial, whether you're on a new product, to go ahead and definitely set up your project right away. Get those tools rolling because they'll start collecting information about your site and constantly updating to give you the freshest data. So the site audit tool is a website health check. It will crawl your site and detect issues related to crawlability. Maybe you have broken links, or maybe you have other fundamental health issues related to the Google bot's ability to crawl your site that are impacting your rankings. Your position tracking tool will track your keywords. Let me jump to a project in which that is active. Okay, so here's a position tracking campaign. This is going to show me any keyword I want to track for any specific location I've chosen to track it. So here's my device and location. As you can see, this is initially set up to United States tracking on desktop. Now I can track United States mobile. I can track the state of New York. I can track cities like Dallas, Texas, or towns like Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. You can be very granular. You can track by zip codes all the way up to the national or international levels. Any keyword you put in here will be available to track, and you can put up to 20 competitors in the product as well. Now, Campbell Soup here can track against Betty Crocker, Food Network, Nutritionix, so on and so forth, for any keywords that are valuable to their business. As you can see here, I'm tracking a bunch of different recipes. Chicken of cream soup calories, my first example. What I see here is the different SERP features in which this keyword could potentially satisfy. It is satisfying the featured snippet. The crown shows here and it shows next to my organic ranking. That tells me that not only am I ranking first organically for the keyword, but our website, our recipe probably in this regard, is showing up in the featured snippet right there on the Google search engine results page. What a great way to take up extra time and space on a search engine results page and just satisfy a featured snippet. So as you can see, Campbell's is doing a lot of that effectively within this particular tracker. Now, you'll always be able to track your visibility score so you know whether your presence is trending up or trending down in time. As you add new keywords to your tracker, I'd recommend tagging them. Maybe if, for example, this might have a recipe tag or it has a chicken plus soup tag, so that if I want to narrow my large set of keywords or products down, I can narrow them down by tags and look at growth metrics for those product categories, recipes, so on and so forth. So I will note that SEMrush onboarding is available in our business plan as well. The full onboarding feature includes 3 hours of training over your first 90 days, a dedicated customer success manager, and a 90-day success plan in which our success team will regularly follow up on. They will help you with organizational things like product tagging or project setup, so on and so forth. So I understand the product is heavy in product. How many times can I say that in a row? But ultimately, there are a lot of resources for helping you be successful as you use it. One cool thing here that I want to show you the device and locations report, but first I want to explain a specific Guru and Up feature. Notice I am tracking up to 10 different devices and locations in my position tracker. I must note that on the Pro plan, you can only track one location before you would have to create a separate project. So you would have on the Pro 5 projects, and you would have a location to track for each project. So you can quickly consume those projects if you're tracking multiple locations. Whereas the Guru plan and Up, you can track 10 different locations, and I'm still using only one SEMrush project. So keep that in mind. Pretty important feature. If you're doing local SEO or you're tracking storefronts in several different locations, it's much easier to do that using the multi-location feature. Also, one thing you don't see here because of the type of keywords I'm tracking, but this tool will also do your local map tracking. So if you're a local business and I say roofing contractor near me into Google, obviously as a roofing contractor in the area in which I'm searching from, ideally I'd like to show up in this map. Affordable roofing company, Bruce Hopek Roofing, showing up with just a 1-star review, unfortunately, and Becker Construction. So that's a great way to find additional time and space on a search engine results page and without having to do paid ads. Patriot Home Pros here happens to be my brother's construction business. And because he's not ranking in the local pack, you see that he's instead advertising on Google AdWords for paid traffic. So the position tracker will track your local pack results. It's a big part of your local SEO efforts. So if you see that pin drop icon, and by pin drop icon, I mean this one right here. Whenever you're tracking any keywords that have local ranking potential, you'll also see that pin drop icon. And just like here, if you're satisfying a local pack ranking, it'll show next to your ranking organically. So if you're doing reporting for local SEO clients, if you're a marketing agency, this is a great way to do local map tracking and reporting, in addition to all of the keyword tracking that would be done for this site. Okay. Elsewhere in our project tools, and I want to encourage more questions. I do see there's a question on backlink authority score, which I will circle back to. Anybody else watching the webinar today, I greatly encourage you to ask questions as necessary in the YouTube chat to make sure this webinar most helps you today. All right, I'm still in this project dashboard. The next tool is an SEO checker. I don't have time to go through all of them. I'm going to skip to the social media tracker. So here is the social media tracker. And I excuse we switched topics from Bikes Direct over to Campbell's Soup here, but I imagine it's more about the tools than the insights related to these websites who have nothing to do with you. So what I have here is the comparison for Campbell's Soup. So when I set up the social media tracker, I was sure to throw in Food Network and allrecipes.com and Progresso, because I want to know, first and foremost, what do my competitors do on social media? Are they doing something effectively that I have failed to consider? So audience-wise, you can see Food Network has garnered a much larger reach. Activity-wise, again, Food Network, all recipes on Facebook as well. Food Network seems to be active both on Facebook and Twitter. Engagement-wise, it's still Food Network. So now right away I know who's the act to follow for starters. Looks like Food Network can tell us a lot more about this social media marketing than we can tell ourselves. So here's some insights related to what has Food Network posted. So it looks like they've posted here a video about weekend brunch. Got really high engagement scores and a lot of shares. Here we have melting potatoes and a video. So they're using a lot of video content, surprisingly. I'm looking for something else. Yeah, wow. So there's a strategy in of itself. It looks like their highest performing content is video content. And they even recently scared their #1 video of 2018, which did really well. So right away, I've already learned about what Food Network does to drive engagement on social, and I can measure the impact of each post on the right. Now, when it comes time to reporting, whether internally or to a client, the social media tool makes that really easy as well. You'll just select your reporting period. Let's say it's 90 days. And you'll have metrics over the last 90 days to show you that over this quarter, we've grown our audience at a 0.55% increased rate, good for 159,000 followers over this period. So it's really easy to help your clients understand that the metrics are positive, you're growing their social media presence at a faster clip, and that activity engagement scores are all showing green lights as well. So it's really easy with SEMrush to build a custom report full of different widgets like position tracking data and social media data. Or if you'd like, you can very easily generate a PDF report directly from the social media tracker. So if it needs you need just the social media report, you can grab that as well. Branded reporting, why we're talking about reporting. Reports can be generated with your own brand, as shown here. That is a Guru Plus feature. On the Pro plan, you will not be able to brand the reports with your own brand. If you're on the business plan, not only will they be branded, they will be fully white labeled as well. There will be no iterations or references to SEMrush data. Also in the projects is a social media scheduling tool. Think kind of like Hootsuite, in which we auto post to Facebook. Not auto post, but schedule your content in advance for Facebook for business, LinkedIn for business, Twitter, or Pinterest. At this time, we do not automatically schedule or automatically post your content to Instagram. However, we can schedule it and send reminders at whatever time you choose to select. There are a few backlink tools. There is a backlink audit for auditing your backlink portfolio and finding spammy domains that might be associated with you. You can use this tool in combination with an integration with your Google Search Console and Google Analytics to upload toxic backlinks directly to the Google Disavow tool. Link building, on the other hand, will help you find prospects for finding new link building opportunities. So I input keywords that I want to rank better for, and the tool will give me relevant domains that might help me achieve referral sources or referral traffic. So for example, I have different keywords in here for Campbell's, and it's making some suggestions of other websites that could positively impact my traffic, like cookingwithruthie.com's high traffic recipe blog. She might, for some reason, link to a Campbell's recipe, link to a Campbell's product, or maybe just say your name. So there's a bunch of different ways you can reach out to these suggested sites, and you can save the outreach strategies to really streamline the process of doing link building efforts. So I may reach out to this website, Cooking with Ruthie, for a manual link. I might ask them to add a link to an existing article. I might even ask to do a guest post. Hey, we're Campbell's Soup, and we want to do a guest post on your website, a joint post, something to help, do PR, drive traffic, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different templates you can save. This will really streamline your efforts if you're doing link building in like high numbers. So anything you select, we'll show here. These are the websites I've chosen to select to reach out to. For example, I want to reach out to Hugs and Cookies with Love for a guest post. And I want to reach out to sohowsitaste.com to add a link to an article. Notice a lot of times we'll be able to find the contacts for those sites. So now all I have to do is select this domain, click to email Leah, and looks like So How's It Taste at, I don't know if that one's going to work. So I'm just going to email Leah at howsitaste.com. And what will load up here is my template for a guest post. Now I can quickly connect my mailbox. You would just do that here. Outlook, Gmail, different mailboxes available, you'll connect your mailbox and you can proceed to sending these emails pretty quickly. Now I move on to theblondecook.com. I send an email there, so on and so forth. You've really streamlined your efforts in finding and building new backlinks. Okay, I want to show one more tool while we're in the project section today, and that's going to be the content analyzer. I will show you the content analyzer with a view from our knowledge base rather than in the tool itself. The reason I do this is, of course, to kill two birds with one stone, and we can show you what the content analyzer tool will do. I really like this tool. You may use this tool to analyze your own URLs and figure out which posts, which authors, which pages are best performing. You may also set up a project on your competitors and set them up as a content analyzer. What are their header tags? How many words are on their post? What meta descriptions are they using, or what keywords are they using in their meta descriptions? That will really help you understand if you're following somebody's lead on good SEO, the content analyzer can very much help you understand what their best performing pages look like from a fundamental perspective. So whenever you're stuck with an SEMrush and you find yourself in our knowledge base, you can query our content analyzer. By the way, our support team is available both in the US and internationally by phone, by email, and by live chat as well. So if you're ever not finding what you need in the knowledge base, we're just a phone call away. The content analyzer will allow you to set up a dashboard to audit different content sets on your website. For example, I might choose my 18 bitesdirect.com guide URLs. And when I select that list of URLs, each of them will aggregate within the dashboard. It will show me performance metrics side by side for each page. For example, what is the meta description on each URL? What is the header tag? Notice I'm also connected to my Google Analytics here for my own domain so that I can see things like backlinks data and page views for each URL. You'll also be able to see social shares. Where is your content being shared? How many backlinks does it earn? What are the Google Analytics metrics related to time on page, bounce rates, so on and so forth. You'll really get to know which pages are best performing, which pages are underperforming, and better yet, maybe on competitive analysis, what your competitors are doing from a technical page perspective related to meta description, word counts, so on and so forth. Okay. A few more minutes left in our webinar, then I'll open up the floor for Q&A. I don't see a lot of questions coming through in the chat, but if there's any last minute questions, I'm happy to field them. I don't want to overwhelm our audience too much today, so I'm not going to go through every tool. Our SEO dashboard here, I'm out of the projects just by chance. Now, when you look at our prices page, our projects will be separated into a separate set of information. Definitely think about how you might use position tracking or site audits with SEMrush because they are a big decision as to what product you'll ultimately choose. Now, when you have a project set up, let's just say I'm a marketing agency and I have my clients set up as part of the SEO dashboard. This will allow me to take key information from all of my different projects. I might have my Google Analytics connected. I might first have some of the keywords I'm tracking in my position tracker, backlinks data, my visibility trends, and different custom data. I can set this dashboard up anyhow I want. So that'll help you, especially if you're a marketing agency, you're managing a lot of your clients with an SEMrush projects, you can customize a separate dashboard for each of your projects. And better yet, you're a click away from a custom report based on that setup of each dashboard. So each client, like I said, can have its own set of data on the dashboard and then quickly be generated into a PDF report with a click of a button throughout the software. I'm going to wrap up today with some content tools. So topic research is first. If you ever use BuzzSumo or AnswerThePublic.com, you might find this tool to be familiar, in which what it does is it aggregates content from different web sources. So I was careful again to be broad, just like I did in the Keyword Magic tool. Now I had better success here, I will say, but just like I did in the Keyword Magic tool, I searched cycling, very broad because I want to aggregate the content. Tour de France, cycling shorts, cycling weekly. These are the cycling subtopics, road racing, etc., that come into play when we talk about cycling. So what this tool can do is really help me understand the content that already exists online, how it performs, how difficult a category might be, and what is the information that is filling these pages. What are the questions that this content is answering? Now I know how others are using the content of choice. I could even narrow it down to cycling content by any specific domain. So I can narrow down to content by X competitor on this topic if they're a good act to follow. I'll also see here the different top ranking domains, different semantically related keywords to search, and then the questions that are either driving traffic or that are living on these pages in which we see in the headlines here. So now what we'll do is, we've looked into different cycling subtopics, and we've decided we want to write about cross-country cycling. Let's just use that as our example. So now I'm less broad, I'm much more specific, and through the keyword, the SEO content template, I'm really searching for the keyword that I want to rank this page for. It's probably going to be in my title tag. This keyword will probably be specifically in my URL. When I use the SEO content template, I'm really looking to narrow down to the keyword template that'll really drive traffic to this page. So I'm much more specific when using this tool. What this does is it analyzes your top 10 ranking rivals for the keyword in which you searched. So who ranks in the top 10 for cross-country cycling? That's what it's aggregating. And it will show us a template to follow for other important information. So here's the top URLs. You see Wikipedia's ranking. That's not easy. Bicycling.com. And as you can see, a lot of times what you'll see is I chose cross-country cycling. If you want to rank first for that keyword, oftentimes you'll see that keyword is used in the URL. Also here, key recommendations. So we definitely think if you're going to talk about cross-country cycling, you make references to mountain biking, cross-country racing, cross-country bikes, so on and so forth. Here are some of the top producers of backlink traffic to these top ranking domains. We recommend 706 words. Here's some examples of how the competitors are using it and some other recommendations here. So what do you do with this? You go ahead and use the real-time content check. This will grade your output in real time. I do see there's a question in the chat about Yext. I will answer it here in 1 second. It's a great question. In the content checker here, so now I have this template dropped right into the content checker. The content checker is available within SEMrush. It's available within Google Docs, or it's a WordPress plugin as well. It will grade my content in real time based on Okay, I'm hoping I'm still live on the broadcast. It looks like I still have viewers, and it looks like it's still broadcasting. Let me make sure you can still see my screen. That might be what I have to relaunch here quickly. And I apologize for the technical difficulty. Okay, I'm confident at this point that if I'm back on the webinar here, my screen is live. I am on the listings management tool. The listings management tool will allow me to enter business information for starters and audit to see if it's accurate across the web. This is a Yext partnership, and our listings management tool is powered by the Yext backbone. When you use this tool, it is the Yext APIs updating your business information online. So here is the business name. I'll quickly put in Patriot Home Pros here. We'll put in their zip code, and I'm going to intentionally get the phone number wrong. I'm going to run this audit quick. And again, this is free as of, this part of the tool is free. So Patriot Home Pros, I can quickly audit to see where it's present on different web directories. So I'm looking and I'm not seeing it on Yahoo. We're not seeing it on Super Pages. It looks like the phone number is wrong on MapQuest. So there's a lot of inconsistencies with these business listings. Why does that matter? Because if my business information is not accurate online, I showed you that my brother pays for his traffic rather than show up in the local map. Well, this is a good example. If your business information isn't correct on the web, Google is not going to rank it in a set of local pack results because they cannot be totally confident that they're giving their users the right information. So notice Facebook shows the wrong phone number, and so does Foursquare. If these inconsistencies are prevalent throughout different web directories, Google will have a hard time ranking your business information in a local pack because they may not trust it. So although you may say, John, who the heck uses chamberofcommerce.com or 8coupons.com for business information? Although I would agree with that and say it's probably fair that you and I don't use those directories, what happens is major directories like Google and like Facebook do rely on third parties to validate the information that they have. So the more consistent your business information is across the web, the more likely you are able to draw local leads and show up in local pack results. That being said, this is a good example of somebody who would probably want to fix their business listings. For $20 a month, I can do that. I can click to distribute the info across the web. And like I said, it works just like Yext from that point. Yext will update the information, protect the information on all of the directories listed within this report. So you can be totally confident that with one click of a button, your business information is accurate, correct, and consistent across the web. I'll quickly show you what the backbone of that product looks like. Because it's a paid tool, you would have to first set that up. Now, about it being paid, $20 a month per location in SEMrush. So if you have 3 businesses that you're updating information for, you'd pay $20 per month per location to maintain accurate business information across the web. Now, here is the listings management. Like I just showed you, the listings management audit will show you correct or incorrect data across the web. And then what you'll start to enter to fix it is more specific business information, your city, your state, your brand name, and product category. You'll have your listing information here, all of the information you need to make sure it's accurate, and you could edit it at any time to correct it. So the whole tool will definitely use this user guide as you set it up, but the tool will allow you to manage everything from pictures, reviews, business information, address, hours, so on and so forth. Okay, I don't see any additional, oh, I do see some questions in the chat. Thank you for confirming that the, okay, go back. Okay, so thank you guys for confirming that I was at one point crashing and now back live. So it's good to know that everybody stuck around for me. I thank you for that. That was a quick run through our listings management tool. I don't see any additional questions. What I will reiterate is that in this chat thread, again, is my email. I will reach out to all of my members of the webinar today. I do maintain a link to a copy of this webinar so you can run back and watch it. Also, we do offer free trials and annual discounts in addition to different onboarding resources with different plans. So if you're interested in procuring SEMrush, let's definitely consider continue the conversation, as our sales team can offer you a better discount than what you might see online and some additional training resources at that. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at the email listed in the chat, john.garcia@SEMrush. I will also reach out to my attendees here. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to continue the conversation. That being said, I'll stick around here another minute for Q&A. I will answer a question related to authority score, and then without any further questions, we'll log off and we'll get back to our Wednesday afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for joining our SEMrush 101 session this afternoon. Okay, Sanjeet, I see there was a question on authority score. I'll quickly run back through that. In the backlinks database, when you query a domain, on the overview of this report, you will see an authority metric for that domain. So I'll quickly run Bikes Direct through here. And here is the authority score metric. This is culminated by domain backlinks, referring domains, monthly site visits, keywords it ranks for, a fair combination of different things to help determine domain strength. This is a predictive measure. It's not Google's measure of domain strength, but is meant to act in the same way. in which helps you understand the authority in which one domain has versus the next. Danielle asks, where does historical data come from? Is it available for all sites or just some? Well, it should be available, garnering your site has had a Google presence. So how does our data garner? That'll first explain this. Our US database, I'm in the organic research for Bikes Direct here. I'm looking at all of the keywords they rank for. When I say all of the keywords they rank for, in the United States database, we track about 125 million keywords regularly. And if you're ranking in the top 100 positions or top 10 pages of Google for any of those keywords, they will populate as part of your report. So 19, they rank for 20,000 keywords here. That can be any of those keywords can be ranking from positions 1 through 100 on Google. Now, historical data will be there, assuming that your domain ranked for one or more of those keywords in the select time period. So it'll generally be available for all sites, barring those sites had a Google presence. If you and I, Danielle, launch a new website today, obviously there won't be anything historical to look back on that website on. Okay, I hope that answered your questions. Danielle, I'll definitely shoot you an email follow-up to continue the conversation if you have additional questions. It looks like that concludes the Q&A, at least in the chat. Oh, there's more. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I'm glad that you heard that. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and get logged off here. One more time, I thank you to the attendees for joining our session today, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Take care, everybody.